Hello class, this is lesson 7-2 titled Substitution. Besides graphing, you can solve a system of equations by a method called substitution. So what you have here are two equations, and since one of them is already equal to the variable y, I can take what it's equal to, which is 4x plus 11, and substitute it in the opposite equation where the y was. So this really looks like 3x minus 4x plus 11 is equal to negative 7. And now I can go ahead and I can solve this equation. So let's remove the parentheses. So that's minus 4x and minus 11. And then I can combine like terms. That leaves me with negative x minus 11 equals negative 7. I'm going to add 11 to both sides. I'm left with negative x equals positive 4, and then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, and I find that x is equal to negative 4. So I found the x value of my coordinate, and now I'm going to plug it into one of my equations. So I'm going to plug it into the second one, and I'll plug in the negative 4 right there. So this is 4 times negative 4, which is negative 16, plus 11 is negative 5. So in the end, my solution is negative 4 comma negative 5. And that is substitution. So let's go ahead and do some more examples. Let's see. My second equation is already equal to y, so I'm going to substitute what it's equal to in the first equation. So that's minus 2 times 2x plus 2 is equal to negative 17. All right, let's go ahead and use distribution. So that's negative 4x minus 4 is equal to negative 17. 3x minus 4x again is negative x. And then I can add 4 to both sides of my equation. I'm left with negative x is equal to negative 13. When I divide both sides by negative 1, x is equal to positive 13. And now I'm going to use my second equation again to plug in the x value. So 2 times 13 plus 2 is really 26 plus 2, which is 28. So my coordinate then would be 13 comma 28. And I'm done. All right, let's look at this next one. Neither equation is written with a variable equal to everything else. So I'm going to just maybe rewrite my second equation. So then it would just be x is equal to negative 4x plus 18. So now that that's done, I can take what it's equal to and substitute it into my first equation. So 5 times negative 4y plus 18 minus 3y is equal to negative 25. I'll use my distribution, so that's negative 20y plus 90 minus 3y is equal to negative 25. When I combine the y's, I have negative 23y plus 90 is equal to negative 25. I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. And then I'm left with negative 23y is equal to negative 115. I divide both sides by negative 23, and we find our y value is equal to positive 5. So now I can use either equation to plug it in. I'm going to plug it into the second one. So that's going to be negative 4 times positive 5 plus 18. So that is negative 20 plus 18. And when I combine those, I find that x is equal to negative 2. So my point then is negative 2 comma 5. Make sure you write it in the correct order. All right, let's look at our last two examples. I have one that is already equal to y, so I'm going to replace it in my first equation. So that's 2 times negative 2x minus 4 is equal to negative 8. And now I'm going to use the distributive property, so that's negative 4x minus 8 is equal to negative 8. When I combine like terms, 4x minus 4x is 0. So I'm left with negative 8 equals negative 8. And what we already learned is that if you eliminate your variables and you're left with a true statement, then we say that this system has infinitely many solutions. There you go. All right, so now for our final example. Neither equation is a variable equal to everything else, so we need to rewrite one of them. So I'm going to rewrite my second equation this time. So I'll subtract 2y from both sides, and I'm left with x is equal to negative 2y minus 13. And now I can substitute that for the variable x in my first equation. So that's 5 times negative 2y minus 13 plus 3y is equal to 5. I can use the distributive property. I am left with negative 10y minus 65 plus 3y is equal to 5. When I combine my y's, I have negative 7y minus 65 equals 5. I can add 65 to both sides. That leaves me with negative 7y is equal to 70. Final step, I divide both sides by negative 7, and y is equal to negative 10. So now our final step is to plug it in. So I'm going to plug it into the second equation, and that leaves me with 20 minus 13, which is 7. So my final coordinate here is 7 comma negative 10, and we are done. So I hope that you understand the method of substitution, but let me know if you have any questions when you come into class.